Hey, what's up you guys? Just wanted to stop in real quick and take a look at the Alabama Crimson Tide prior to tomorrow's SEC Championship matchup against our LSU Tigers. Alabama is 22-6 on the season, 16-2 in SEC play, and that's including 2-0 against LSU with an average margin of victory of 24 points. I thought in this video we could take a quick look at the core members of this Alabama squad and see how they've been faring on the court as of late. They run their subs in and out of the game to the point that they only have one player that averages more than 30 minutes a game during conference play, and that's senior guard John Petty. Just for comparison's sake, Javonte Smart, Trendon Watford, and Cam Thomas all averaged more than 33 minutes a night for LSU. With all that said, there's really only 5 guys you need to focus on for Alabama. That starts with their leading shot taker, sophomore guard Jayden Shackelford. Shackelford is kind of a gunner. He takes a lot of threes, but he doesn't necessarily make a lot of them, shooting just about 30% from 3 in his previous 10 games. In those 10 games, he's averaging about 16 a night, shooting 43 from the field, and he was just okay against LSU this season, going for about 12.5 points per game. Now, a guy that does take and make a lot of threes is senior John Petty that I mentioned earlier. Over the last 2 seasons, Petty has taken nearly 7 threes a game and he's knocked down 42% of them. I do think it's worth noting, however, that LSU has done a pretty solid job on him for the most part the last 4 matchups. He's averaging about 11 a night, and in those 4 games, he's made 9 threes, but of those 9, 8 of them came in that 30-point rout back on January 19th. Petty's been a little bit unlike himself as of late, shooting just 35% from 3 in his last 10 outings. Senior Herb Jones is a 6'8", kind of do-it-all guard forward for Alabama. He led him in rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks per game this year. He's not much of a threat offensively, but he is definitely one of the conference's best defensive players, and LSU really needs to be mindful of him in the passing lanes, as he did average 2 steals a game this year. Alabama really only plays one traditional big, and that's 6'10" Jordan Bruner. Bruner plays just about 20 minutes a night, but before he transferred to Alabama, he played for Yale and he established himself as a good shot blocker and rebounder in the Ivy League. He didn't play in either 2 of the games this year, but he actually did play for Yale 2 years ago when Yale and LSU played in the NCAA tournament, and he actually played quite well, scoring 16 points and he grabbed 9 boards in that game. Now, Alabama's best offensive weapon is perhaps guard Jahvon Quinerly, who actually comes off the bench for him. He's a former 5-star prospect that played 1 season with Jay Wright in Villanova, but he transferred after that 1 season because he only played in about 200 minutes. In his previous 10 games, he's averaging about 15 points and 3 assists a night, but he's doing so on 50% from the field and like 53% from 3. So like I said, just a real quick look at the Alabama Crimson Tide. We as LSU fans should be pretty familiar with them because we do see them twice a year, but I didn't see the harm in looking into them, especially in what they've done as of late. I used about the last 10 games as a baseline. I think if you're trying to remain realistic and, not be a homer, you have to admit that Alabama just doesn't seem like a good matchup for LSU. But you play the game for a reason, so hopefully LSU can keep it close tomorrow. Hopefully they come out with a win. The first SEC tournament, final since 1993. I was 3 years old, so it's the first time I've ever seen this, so I'm excited. Go Tigers. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already for future LSU content. And as always, go Tigers. See you guys later. Bye.